What's up, Yugi Nation? It's your boy Enzo, and we all know comic books and video games are a match made in heaven. Except if we're talking about Yuna and Tidus, of course. Although, the whole comic book video game genre has been known to be notoriously bad. But right now, things have changed for the better. So I listed down a few superhero-themed games that I believe are remarkable. So without further ado, let's go! First up, we have Spider-Man 2. In an era where comic book or movie adaptation games were known to be terrible, but this movie tie-in, on the other hand, is actually pretty good. What could you expect from the best Spider-Man movie ever? Yeah, I said it. It was way ahead of its time with its open-world element, missions, and how it was very faithful with its web-slinging action. Up next is the game Wonderful 101. You get to assemble an unconventional team from aliens who are set to invade Earth. This is probably the most underappreciated of all the games on the list, since it was released for the Wii U. You can talk a lot of crap about the console, but the game is actually really good. Next, we have Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Have you ever dreamed of forming your own Marvel superhero squad and fend off a group of villains too? Well, in this game, you can finally make those dreams come true! Marvel Ultimate Alliance offers you a variety of heroes you can play. It's known to be one of the best co-op games and received high praise for its gameplay and captivating story. So next is Infamous 2. Infamous 2 is an open-world game that lets you choose whether you want to play as a supervillain or a hero, with its karma system which makes the game more dynamic with its story. It will surely simulate how it's like to be a hero or a villain. Up next is one of the most popular fighting games ever, Marvel vs. Capcom. You get to play either Marvel characters or famous characters from Capcom. It's a great game if you're into those flashy fighting games. Not to mention, if you're a huge fan of the franchises. Next is Batman ARKHAM Asylum. Play as the Dark Knight and go against your arch nemesis Joker, who just seized control of Arkham Asylum. You know, the place where all the bad guys are located. Enjoy the complete feel of being in the shoes, or rather in the boots, of the greatest detective of all time. Next is a GameCube classic, Beautiful Joe. You play as Joe, a nerd who is out to save his abducted girlfriend. The game is a traditional side-scrolling action fighting game that is super underrated because of, well, it being released for the Nintendo GameCube, which is known to be overshadowed by the Xbox and the PlayStation 2. Next, I'll start it with a question. Have you ever wondered what it was like if Superman becomes a bad guy? Well, Injustice 2 is the game for you. It's a fighting game where you get to play your favorite DC superheroes and villains with its well-stacked roster. The game has also one of the best storylines ever, and dude, Superman as a villain, you have to check this game out if you haven't yet. And next is a personal favorite since I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so of course, Marvel Spider-Man. Similar to Spider-Man 2, the game is a web-slinging open-world game. It feels like a throwback of Spider-Man 2, with vast improvements with its mechanics and graphics to fit the standards of today. It's easily one of the best superhero games ever made, and if you're a huge fan of the hero, this is the game for you. Lastly, we have Batman Arkham City. This is probably, in my opinion, the greatest superhero game right now, just because it gives you the exact feel of being Batman. And who doesn't want to be a dark, brooding, mysterious dude who goes around at night and beat up villains? I know I do. The game also remains faithful to its themes like solving mysteries and defending citizens from your arch-rival Joker, who is voiced by the legendary, you guessed it, Mark Hamill. So here are a few superhero games that I suggest you guys should check out. And looking towards the future of superhero-themed games, let's just say I like what I'm seeing. I think it's going to be a great era for superhero games. If you have your own list of games, please do share them in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and don't forget to visit yugatech.com/gaming for more news, tips, and tricks. It's your boy Enzo, and stay safe.